Okay, so going through a breakup is literally one of the hardest things that we deal with in life. I mean, especially when you truly love someone, you thought that you would spend your life with that person. It is a very difficult thing. Breakups, divorces, splitting up the family, like all those different things. It is so difficult. And I think that in the beginning stages of the breakup, like let's say like within those first 6 months to a year, maybe, like you may be especially depending on how long you've been with the person, you may be very tempted to go back to a situation that was toxic or simply just was not right for you. And I have to be honest, that's the situation that I'm in right now. I've, left a situation that I should have left a long time ago, but, it's someone that I love dearly and thought that I would spend my life with. And so it is very difficult, very difficult to stay strong and to, spend my days making sure that I continue on with the right decision to not only leave the relationship, but to stay away from the relationship. Leaving is one thing, staying away is something completely different, and so it's challenging. Every day is a battle. Some days you really want to just call them and be like, yo, what's good? It's almost like our minds play these tricks on us, because when you're in the relationship, you're constantly picturing life without them, as far as like without the stress, without the headache, without all the difficulties and complexities that come with that relationship. But then when you're not with them, your mind plays these tricks on you that, thinking about getting back into the relationship and how amazing it could be, and how maybe this time you'll get it right, or how, maybe this separation changed them so much that, you can have this fairy tale relationship. And it's just so ridiculous how these mind games just go on and on and on when you're in these toxic situations. But like I said, it doesn't necessarily have to be a toxic situation, because I know that can be a word that's overused. But at the same time, I do feel like many of us have, at least one way or another, been in toxic situations that have been hard for us to get out. And so you really want to try your best to remember what it is that got you there in the first place. Because sometimes after, months goes on, or, weeks, whatever, years, you forget, what led up to that point in the first place. When the breakup first happens, you're angry, you're hurt, things are sour, things are bitter. And it doesn't take much for you to remember why you're there. But as time goes on, as you begin to heal, as you begin to get, further away from the situations that happened, you start to paint this rosy picture for some reason. And you start to see things as you start to focus more on the good things and the experiences that you had and the memories you share with this person, and all the things that could have been the shoulda, coulda, wouldas of the relationship. You start to focus on that, and you get sidetracked by those thoughts. And you eventually, you want to reach out, whether it's just for physical comfort or emotional comfort or both, but you want to reach out to that person, especially because, most people are going to find, their biggest comfort, in someone that they've already built that, history with. And so it's extremely difficult, and I completely understand it. But I'm telling you, as I'm going through it, as I'm fighting through it, too, that it's so worth it to stay in the no contact, especially if you're able to be in no contact. It's so worth it to stay in that no contact point, especially when you were disrespected, especially when boundaries were violated, especially when the person behaved as though you were not valuable to them, that they didn't love you or they didn't appreciate your presence in their life. It is super important for you to stay away from that person in that situation, so that they can honestly see what life is like without you, but also so that you can see what life is like without them. Sometimes you find yourself living in a toxic situation, and that becomes the norm. And it almost feels like that's how things are. And it's not. It isn't. And so I truly want you guys to just understand that when it comes to leaving a relationship, I know you miss your ex. I know you want to make that phone call. But really think about it before you do, so that you are not in regret. Because it may not even go the way you think. They may say some hurtful things. They may be in a completely different relationship already. They may try to, even if they're lying, they may try to paint the picture that they're living, their best life without you. And, that can be a hurtful situation, and you can kind of like put yourself back. It's like you almost regress with whatever progress you've made, because now you set yourself back because, whatever information that you get from them, you're either hurt by it or you're upset by it or whatever. And so it's kind of just best to really just cut those ties and just be done. And it is so important to have a support system. Like, I cannot tell you guys how important it is to have a support system. Like, my support system is really part of the only reason why I'm able to get through this. It is so difficult. I spent almost 7 years with my ex. And when I say 7 years, it wasn't just like, 7 years of like us doing our own things, like as far as different jobs. It was 7 years of being around each other almost all day, every day. We worked together, we lived together, we traveled together, we did most of life together. So that allowed us to build a lifetime of memories together in that 7 years. And so it's so much to unlearn from that relationship, so much to undo, so much to get, used to either doing or not doing. It's just so much, like there's so many things that remind me of her, so many things that random things trigger a thought about her, or something that we did together, or a place that we went, or something that was said or done, or it's just so difficult. And so if you are experiencing this is just your sign that you are going to be okay. Everything's going to work out in your favor. You are so courageous and brave for making the decision to leave, and not only leave, but to stay away, and not only to stay away, but to have no contact with the person. The way you have put yourself first, your future self is going to thank you. And so I just wanted to make this video because I know it's a very hard time for a lot of people. I know a lot of people are going through either problems in their relationship, but more specifically for those who are, in seasons of ending relationships. I know how difficult it can be. And so this is just a video to let you know to be encouraged. You've made the right decision by putting yourself first. You are important, you are valuable enough, and you are deserving of a love that is safe, that is healthy, that encourages and uplifts you and not hurts you, that doesn't demean you. You are worthy of that. And so continue on, keep moving forward, keep on making that decision. It's a daily decision to get up every day and decide you're not going to contact them, that you're not going to, go back to a situation that didn't serve you. It's a daily decision. It's not, people make it seem like, okay, you leave the relationship and then that's it, But no, you have to make that same decision again and again and again. You leave it, and then you got to choose to stay away, and then choose to stay away again, and then choose to stay away some more, and so on and so forth, and you really got to build up that muscle and that strength to avoid contacting them, and to avoid getting yourself back in, in that entanglement, so to speak. And so, like I said, just be encouraged that you're doing the right thing. And believe me, when I'm talking to you guys, I'm speaking to myself too, because it's not easy, but it's worth it. So put yourself first, love on yourself, continue to heal, continue to grow, do your affirmations, work on your manifestations, work on you, focus on your goals, do everything that you said you were going to do, but maybe weren't able to do, or maybe was distracted with when you were with them, and just crush your goals this year. Like, we're at the beginning of a new year, and it's the perfect time to really set some goals and really make things happen. And so for me, this is me making it happen, because I've been very inconsistent with making my videos and posting my content. And I decided that this is the year that I'm going to make good decisions. That's my theme for this year. Make better decisions. And so I'm encouraging you guys to make better decisions as well with your dating, your relationships, and putting yourself first. And so make better decisions. And I love you guys. And I'll talk to you later.